Deadpool is being blackmailed by Strife into killing people. If he doesn't do it, his daughter, Ellie's life is on the line. His next target? Evan. But here's the thing. Deadpool doesn't want to go through with it. As he stares at Evan, he's overwhelmed with despair, torn about what to do. It's raining in the city. Evan is running down a street and bumps into a couple. Evan falls, and the woman immediately worries about him, asking if he's okay. But he just warns them. "Run away! Deadpool's coming to kill me!" The woman responds, determined. "Deadpool? Well, we won't let him." Her husband, less brave and more realistic, says, but what are we gonna do about it?" However, at that moment, Deadpool suddenly appears and loudly shouts, "Nothing!" While moving quickly, he knocks the couple down, knocking them unconscious. "You shouldn't have run, Evan," says Deadpool as he prepares to attack. Evan, visibly scared and with his eyes full of terror, asks him about his powers. "What's happened to my powers?" Deadpool points a gun at him and responds, "I hit you with a drug that suppresses them. Don't struggle. In a moment, this will all be over." Evan can't understand why Deadpool is doing this. In his desperation, he decides to ask why he wants to kill him. Evan pleads for a reason. "Did I do something wrong? Is it something I'm going to do?" Deadpool, without hesitation, responds, "No, this is all on me." At that moment, Strife is watching the scene from a large screen, clearly bored by what's happening and just wanting it to end. There are several red dots on the screen, each indicating a person he wants to eliminate. Suddenly, one of the dots disappears. It's Genesis. Strife presses a button on his console and Deadpool appears. "It's done, you freak," said Deadpool. Strife replies, trying to provoke Deadpool. "I've got satellite coverage of the globe, and you don't look like you have the resources to get him off planet." But Deadpool, unfazed, simply asks for the last name to finish the job. Strife doesn't think twice and gives it to him. "Marietta Nelson." Deadpool finds himself back at the same spot, casually knocking out the couple who had just started to wake up. He approaches Evan saying, "Wake up, Evan." When that doesn't work, he slaps Evan across the face. Evan jerks awake, eyes snapping open in shock. As he processes the situation, he yells, "What the hell are you doing, Deadpool?" Deadpool then tells him, "I owe you an explanation." He then explains that the drug he used temporarily suppresses X genes. Evan, still shaken, says, I thought you were going to kill me." Deadpool, looking genuinely puzzled, says, "Come on, if you really thought that, you would have called the X-Men." Evan's glare hardens into something cold. "I did." As if on cue, Colossus appears, furious. Without a word, he punches Deadpool with enough force to send him flying into a nearby building. Before Deadpool can recover, Kitty Pryde also joins in. She uses her powers with a baseball bat which hurts Deadpool. She doesn't stop there. She phases through him and then pushes him through a glass window. Shards of glass raining down as Deadpool crashes onto the ground. Kitty and Colossus stand over him. They're ready to keep going, but Evan steps in to stop them. Turning to Deadpool, he demands, "Why, Deadpool?" Kitty and Colossus clearly don't care about the answer, but Evan does. "It matters to me, Wade. Why?" Deadpool, broken and bleeding with shards of glass in his body, finally crumbles. His voice is shaky, but sincere as he confesses. "He'd kill Ellie if I didn't. He may still kill her when he finds out I cheated and didn't kill you. I'm doing it for the girl, Evan." Colossus is still fuming, his fists clenched, ready to continue the fight, but Evan steps in, holding him back. Deadpool, pulling shards of glass from his body and yanking out the baseball bat lodged in his body, tells them, "My daughter, she'll be a new mutant one day, if she can survive being my kid." Evan believes him. "If you were in trouble, you should have come to your friends." Deadpool says, shaking his head, "That's the point, kid. I can't afford to have any." Kitty and Colossus, however, remain unmoved. They glare at Deadpool. clearly unwilling to let him walk away. Deadpool sighs, reaching into his pocket. That's exactly what I'm doing. And I got something for you to remember me by. Before anyone can react, he pulls out a grenade and tosses it toward him. The pin's down, better start facing, kitty. Before anyone can react, Deadpool hurls the grenade into Evan's hands. Boom! By the time the dust settles and they realize what's happened, Deadpool is gone, having disappeared into the sewers. As he moves through the dark tunnels, his thoughts race. One more black mark on my ledger and I can be free of Strife. Albie, and this woman, who maybe never heard a fly, will be dead. Slipping silently into the dimly lit bedroom of Marietta Nelson, Deadpool approaches his next target. His presence jolts her awake. She yells, "Who's there?" As Deadpool pulls the shards of glass from his body, he begins to speak. His voice uncharacteristically soft. "My name is Wade Wilson, and I owe you an apology." Marietta, trembling with fear, stammers, "I know who you are. What are you doing here?" Deadpool doesn't stop removing, his movements deliberate and slow. "I didn't mean to wake you, but I'm not at the top of my game right now. Somebody wants you dead, and I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. I have a daughter. If I don't kill you, my enemy will kill her. You're like my daughter. You didn't deserve to come into my orbit either. Nobody deserves me, but I just happen to people, you know." Tears streak down Marietta's face as she asks, "Isn't there something we can do to save both of us?" Deadpool apologizes. "I know it doesn't matter, but I am sorry. Maybe I woke you up deliberately, so you can know. This isn't about you. It's about that poor girl." Marietta finally gathers the courage to ask, "What's her name?" Deadpool then answers, "Her name's Ellie." Marietta's trembling begins to subside. She speaks, "Well, maybe this isn't the worst end. A middle-aged woman dies so a young girl can live." Deadpool moves closer, sitting beside her on the bed. Gently, he takes her hand. Her voice wavers as she asks one last question. "Will it hurt?" Deadpool shakes his head. "No, I already did it." Her eyes flutter shut, her face serene, as though she's finally found a sliver of peace. Deadpool stays there, holding her hand. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.